Hey, Libby.
GM TEC. GM.
GM. We
Hey,
live.
Logan. Oh, we're live. Okay, nice. Thank you, Zep. Well, then let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it. I want to praise Lauren for shilling the TEC and kernel today, and also just being a great parameter party host, along with Chewy, Zeptimus, Wonka, Nuggin, and Mitch and myself. Major praise for all the hosting and all the support that's been given. I want to praise Mount Manu for connecting us with Lisa in economics design to set up a party. I want to shout out, give major praise to whoever connected us to all these external parties. I think Chewy mostly. I want to give so much praise to Chewy for really connecting us to the outside world, going to the call today about the future of XDI, and also just being a great networker as well as a great comms lead. I want to praise Wonka for the amazing gravity course I think is coming to a close soon. So thank you so much, Wonka, for the great work. And I'll pass it to Livia.
Oh, midway typing. Okay, I praise Griff for the support and guidance he gives to all the issues anyone has trouble with, and for being an inspiration of presence and leadership. I praise Caesar for making the community call survey in light speed and very thoughtfully. Praise Juanca for offering to host SoftGov, for listening to my gravity presentation beforehand and being so supportive. Praise Pedro for doing all the work and Snapshot to coordinate with the quadratic ring choice voting and being super communicative. Praise Christopher for keeping us organized and on track with the reward systems. Nuggin because he brings a safe and calm tone to all his contributions. Oh no, I had so much more. Okay. I'll pass to John.
I don't know if John has had a chance to. Do you know praise, John? Maybe we'll pass it to Tam and I'll let you get the flow of it.
All right, cool. Oh boy. So I'd like to praise just the people who've been really active in Communitas, Vive IV, MS, Gideon, Aloysius, Jean, Nate, Durgadas, and LBS. It's turning into such a strong and effective group. I'd like to praise all the stewards, Chewy, Eduardo, Griff, Ivy, Wonka, Livia, Mitch, Nate, Zebnam, myself, YGG, and Zeptimus, because, God, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes here. I'd like to praise Manu for keeping up the weekly update strong. I'd like to praise Chewy. You held such a great Params party and so many Params parties on other Discord server. I think that's so important in bringing in a lot of new people and gaining exposure in other respective communities for the TEC. And the rest will have to go on the praise channel. I'll pass to YGG. Who I'd like to praise?
Thanks, Tam. Hey, everybody. I'm back after I was pretty sick for like 2 weeks, but it's nice to be back. And so praise to Griff for covering and shilling the labs while I was gone. And praise to Tam for keeping tabs on me and sending me some good elixir recipes while I was sick. And praise to Livy for kicking butt in the rewards research group with the Governauts. Really exciting stuff happening there. Praise to Durgadas for jumping in the research group as well yesterday and sharing some of his backstory. And yeah, praise to the whole community for continuing to march forward and just always making such good things happen. So I'll pass over to Lauren.
Thanks, YGG. I want to praise Tam for leading such good stewards calls, especially that one with the Miro board. It's like the most fun call ever, and we're totally going to use it in Giveth because we love it so much. I want to praise Zepti for his radical parameters proposals that like really stretch and expand the mind, make me uncomfortable. I also want to praise Zepti for recording all the things. I want to also praise Griff, Wonka, Chewy, Nuggin, Zeppi, and Mitch for hosting Param parties all over the space. I want to praise Acid Lazy for tracking the Param parties and making sure that everyone's going to get a nice, cool PO-op. I want to praise Durgadas for his human-centered perspective and joining Param parties. I want to praise Griff for pushing on the Commons Swarm, being a great leader, and leading the parameters team. I want to praise Pedro for working on the conviction voting module improvements, and I also want to praise Vitor and Fabio for being just like total dashboard heroes. I want to praise Ivy and Manu and whoever is transcribing this right now, want to praise you. And I want to praise Gabby and Fabry and Sam and everybody who's pushing forward on the garden so that we can also be using that. And Michael Keating for supporting and interest in the TEC and making this nice bridge with Kernel. I will pass it to MS.
Thanks, Lauren. So I'm going to start by saying I want to praise everybody for just all of the welcoming comments and help that I get across the community. But for recency error and interactions, Nuggin has been really, really great with helping me get up to speed on the reward stuff. Tam's always helping me stay super, super energized with meetings in the morning and keeping my focus straight. Livia's been super great with helping me with comments and questions. ViViV for all of the stuff that they do in the background and help me with on a data side. Octopus also with the data stuff and getting up to speed. And also Christopher for helping me stay on task there. Communitas side, Eduardo and everything that I've had support with in regards to helping with the Discord flow. And that's it. I will pass over to Eduardo, you go?
Not yet. Thank you. I wanna dish praise to everyone who came for orientation call. That means I wanna dish praise to Acid Laser, Alan TV, Chuy Garcia, Divine, Durgaras, John Jonas, Leopold, Levy, Leogonaut, Nate Sweets, Sishanak, Tam, and Josh for coming for orientation call. Thank you so much for contributing your 1 hour of your time and joining our call. I wanna dish praise to MS, LB, ViViV, Gideon, and Tam, and probably I'm missing someone from the Communitas working group, and to pull out the day zero onboarding experience. Thank you so much for participating. I want to praise to YGG. Long time no seeing you, man. Nice to see you, Shitty. I want to praise. Okay, all right. I will pass it on to Craig. How have you been?
You do. Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, I'll dish praise to all the people doing Params parties. That would be Zeptimus and Nugan and Griff and Lauren and Juan and Mitch and Chewy. There may be some others. Praise to all of them. Been able to attend off and on. Not as much on. Yeah, that's all. Pass it. Boy, I'm not even sure. Griff, help me. I don't know. Who hasn't gone?
Sure, I can help you. Let's throw it to Durgadas.
Yeah, this is very challenging for me because I have so Griff for leading pram parties, Lauren also for pram parties, Zeptimus for all his crazy ass ideas about what parameters should be, Livy for always being basically the mom of this whole group, Tam for being the auntie of this group, LBS. She's been doing this a lot lately in groups that I've been, and I always appreciate that. Russ Live for showing up to things and being inquisitive. ViViV, who seems to be like the invisible hand of getting shit done. YGG for his sort of genius. Juan, as always, the steadying presence. Edu for being the friendly face that everybody looks to for this group. Chewy for continuing to push the comms down forward. And I'm forgetting everybody else, but you guys are all awesome. And I pass it to Chewy.
Thanks, Durgadas. I think I'll pass it for some more minutes because I'm a little bit behind with my praise list. So I'll pass it to Russ.
Yeah, hi everybody. Are we just doing a praise report? Are you just? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Russ. So if there's anyone, no worries. If there's anyone in the TC that you like that you think did something nice or cool, you can just give them praise, and then when you're done, pass it on to someone.
Oh, heck yeah, I love it. I would obviously have to go to Durgadas. Just being an amazing human being, imparting so much wisdom to me earlier in today's call. just giving back so much value. I just appreciate that, being able to have that one-on-one conversation about healing and dealing with traumatic stress, and just the conversation we had earlier was very edifying. So I appreciate you for that. Plus the incomparable amount of value and just gems he's been dropping in our Discord, the 40 Acres DAO.
Nice, and I can sling it for you. Let's go to David, DYOR.
Hey everybody, how's it going today? Good to see you. I just want to praise Chewy for helping me find my way around the TEC. Livy for her work with culture and rewards. I want to praise Tam for helping me to find ways to contribute here at the TEC. I want to praise Edo, Griff, Lauren for their positive attitude. Durgadas for being a spiritual guide to the community. Outside the box. And
You got really quiet there, David.
Manu for syncing with me on many levels. I want to praise Gideon for stepping into Twitter, and praise Alocius for her contributions on social media, Ivy for taking on a new challenge, and Octo Vitor, Sam, Fabry, YGG, and ViViV for making this thing. Thanks. Pass it to Griff. I don't know who's left. Sorry.
No worries. Let's throw it to ViViV.
I'd like to pass for now. I'll probably drop my praise in the chat.
No problem. How about Wonka? Did you go?
Yeah, Griff, I can take it. I would like to praise Livy for hosting this week's Graviton training, and for being like a light of inspiration in the TEC. I would also like to praise Griff because he always deserves double of the praise that we dish to him. Like, he gets easily missed. Durgadas, like, his contributions are invaluable, and Chewy for his attention on comms, Septi for his constancy and transparency, Aloysius Ryder for helping with the POAP distribution of the Graviton trainings, and Mitch for coming to Barranquilla, and Zero for taking Twitter management. And I will pass to Nisren, I think.
Hi, yes, I just joined, and this is my first community call here, so I'm not really sure what to say.
No worries. So if anyone in the last week in the TEC has done something that you would like to praise or acknowledge them for, you just rattle it off. And if not, you can just pass it to someone else. You got a 50 chance of picking someone who didn't go yet.
Yeah, sure. I'm very new to TEC too. I'm just learning about all of this. I heard the Twitter Spaces, and it's kind of something I was designing at work too. But I actually recently left my job, so it doesn't really matter that much anymore. But I still want to learn all of this. So I will pass it off to maybe Logonaut, if they feel like talking.
Logo, you're still on mute. Any luck? No. Okay, let's throw it to LB.
Hey, just a super gentle praise today. I just really want to praise everybody in the Communitas working group. Not only have they been so kind to me in my need to take some space and really reorient on my own life and my own needs so that I can come back and kick ass again, but just like continuing to keep that work rolling forward. It's really exciting to know that like there's a competent team and I get to be a part of it and I get to like step away and I get to come back. So just a lot of love for both the team and kind of the space that has been created within that team and within this community. And Griff, pass it for me if you will.
With pleasure. How about Aloysius?
Hi, friends. Feeling pretty nonverbal today. I'm going to write mine in the chat.
Great. Thanks, Aloysius. I didn't hear you passed it to, but maybe I'll pass it to Angie Berry.
I just got here, so I'm a little confused. I'm still trying to learn everyone's names though, but I'd like to praise David for showing us his dog. I was having a bad day and it brought a smile to my face. I like to praise those who have their cameras on because I know it can cause a little anxiety to some. And well, I'd like to praise the rest for being here. And well, I hope we can get to know each other more and learn more about this community.
Nice. And I can sling it for you. It's starting to get hard to find somebody. How about Chewy? Chewy, are you ready yet?
Yes. Sorry about that. Okay, I'd like to praise Juanca because we're almost there with Graviton training. Tam for her guidance and being able to be 2 steps ahead of everyone. Acid Laser and Ivy for taking vacations. Angie Very, Casal, Lalo Crypto, and Ciso Yanatech for great calls thinking on the communications working group future. Very excited to have all of you, so thank you for that double praise. And also Zero, who has been always there on Twitter, and even though there's so much going on and sometimes I feel bad because I can't support him enough, he's always like on top of that. He's been doing an amazing job, so praise Zero for that. And I'll just type in the rest in the praise channel. Thank you. I'll pass it to Septi. Have you gone already?
No, thanks, Chewy. Yeah, I wanted this praise to Griff. Like, I don't know how you do it, man, but you know about legal, about common swarm. Not common swarm, but you know the code. Like, you know, like, it doesn't matter the topic, you always have good insights to share. I wanted this praise to Tam for the console call and getting all the concerns regarding the sustainability of the commons. I wanted this praise to Livia and Pedro for setting up the quadratic rank choice voting on Snapshot. And I wanted this praise to Juan and Chuy for increasing our security on Discord, having all the admin with 2FA. I wanted this praise to Ivy for the YouTube and Medium analytics. And I wanted this praise to Lauren for the most fun Param party, like forking each other's proposal and debating on it. It was so fun. And I'll pass it to Griff.
Nice. Well, let's see. Ryder, would you like to take it?
Yeah, Griff, thanks. I made a little list. I want to dish praise to Rust Live for sharing some servers with me and some really positive energy. Glad to see you on the screen today. I want to dish praise to MS for the positive vibes and the very short time we spent together, and it's nice to see you on camera today. I like to dish praise to Griff for similar to what Zeptimus said, but also being very aware of how much space he takes up while also having like so much quality information to share on so many like domains and topics. And Tim and Livia, particularly for their style of leadership, and to Aloysius for helping out even more on the POAP stuff when I was in the desert. Oh, and I forget the person's name because I've only heard them, but dishing praise for the person who listens to these every week and writes praise.
Ivy.
Yeah, and I think this week Ivy's on vacation, so Mount Manu's filling in. What a backup hero, right? And what about
for taking over for Ivy this week or while they're gone?
Nice. Yeah, there's only 2 left, so we'll see. How about Logonaut? Is your mic working? Are you able to unmute? Dish any praise? No? Okay, I'll take that as a no. And what about Tint?
Sorry, I just wanted to just
Oh, no,
praise
you're
you
here.
for all the positive vibes and everybody. I've mainly just been lurking here, and but I'm really, really enjoying the positive vibes from the whole community here. So thank you all.
And thank you, Logan. And Tint?
Yes. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. This is my first time tuning in. I love the tokenomics space, and I came across this server through a video with Griff. I was like, I need to be in this space. So pretty cool. First thing I joined in here is praise. It's always good to have that positive ambiance, and yeah, I'm excited to continually tag along.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tint. Nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's just dive into it. I don't know if it's Community Call 58 or 59, so I just deleted the number. Where's Ivy? Anyway, if you guys love praise, which we all love praise, it's not something we just do on Thursdays. We can do it anytime, and the reward system will end up turning praise into real TEC rewards and governance power and monetary value. So it's super cool. It's like a great way to acknowledge people who are doing good work and know that eventually they will get something. So that's cool. You can dish praise anytime in the Discord channel, and if you don't have praise powers, just ask anyone in Communitas or any of the stewards, and we can all hook you up. Also, hey, remember, we raised 1.5 million DAI. 1.5 million wrapped X DAI are sitting in a hatch DAO right now, and there are about 2 million TEC token holders, TECH token holders. So that's super cool. That's where we're at. Next phase is coming. So we really focus on our community, and we put a lot of effort there because it's so important to have a strong relational fabric, especially in such a diverse remote crowd. So if we try to maintain this lovey-dovey atmosphere by having gravity come in full force. So there are active gravitons. You can see them on the Discord server on the right. Whenever you see the names up there, you can see the active gravitons. And if you have any kind of issues, you can DM one of them and say, hey, you know what? I saw someone was kind of awkward with this other person. I don't know, maybe they're just having a bad day, but thought I'd put it on your radar. You know, it's just a way that we have this team of people who work behind the scenes to make everything lovey-dovey around here. So you can DM them, or if you don't want to like talk to anybody, you can fill out an anonymous or non-anonymous report using our Gravity type form right here. So that's super cool. Also, we have a community call survey. Hey, this community call. Sometimes, what can it do to do better? We just got rid of the spotlight. Is that okay? What do you guys think? We have this awesome survey. Livia, I think Livia put it together. At least Livia, do you have something to say on this?
Caesar put it together, yeah. He was looking for a task to do, and that was the perfect one. He did it super quick and awesome. I'll put the link in the community hall.
Great. Thank you so much, Livia. And yes, surveys are fun. Look at that kid. He's having a blast. You're going to have a blast too. Tell us how this call can get better. And just a reminder, also, what are we even doing here? Our vision in the TEC is to enable the creation of ethical, safe, resilient, and diverse economic systems that benefit societies around the world. And I'm going to skip through advice process, because I say it every week, and you guys know, don't forget advice process. And we'll move on to the Steward of Stewards. Tam, please tell us what's going on with the stewards this week.
Cool. Okay. So we are in Sprint 22, and we have the key dates. This is all in the forum on Livia's post with Griff's post, but we are here in the propose and debate section. Griff and Livia are going to talk a lot more about this later on in this call, but I want to keep our dates front and center with everyone. Our Stewards Working Group meetings are on the top right. It's all in the calendar. They're all open, and this link here will take you to the Sprint board, which I'll also show you in a minute. And if we go to the next slide, here Rico, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling Sprint 22, and I'm feeling this meme. Param parties are everywhere. It's like glitter, so we're going to find them Param season. Params are everywhere. Sprint 22, feeling 22, Params 22. Coincidence? I think not. But on to serious business. The Stewards Council we just had today was really, really excellent. We talked about the estimations we have for funding for DAO operations, so working group projects, funding proposals. We looked at all of the TE projects that already have proposals on our forum. We have some figures in mind, so about 180K for 3 months for DAO operations. This is an estimation. We're still getting final figures in. Around 410K is a soft figure for funding from proposals already on the forum. We don't know that they're all going to be resubmitted, but it's just something to keep in the back of our minds while we're doing all these Param parties. We talked about the effect of the common pool, what a reasonable amount would be. I think we came up with it wouldn't be reasonable to have any less than 500K in the commons pool, and a number of other things that I think was important for us to discuss. We also talked about and brainstormed some ideas for how we can look at revenue streams, and the idea that working groups should look at ways to be profit centers and not just cost centers. I think the analogy that was brought up was Girl Scouts sell Girl Scout cookies. So maybe to consider ways to find other revenue as well. We didn't have a chance to talk about it we talked about it maybe a little bit. The Stewards Working Group funding is ready, and it's making its rounds in the Stewards Working Group for advice process. Hopefully by tomorrow it'll be seen, and we'll be able to submit it on the forum and then get a community advice process on it as well. Okay, what else? So our regular weekly sync, what was on our mind this week? The big thing is we're keep tracking the critical pieces of work. These are things that will be blockers to the Commons upgrade. So making sure they're always on our radar and we're keeping track of them is important, even though they're also here. If you search for the label blocking Commons upgrade, that they're the big red tag. Those mean if those don't get finished, we can't launch, we can't do the upgrade. So we keep checking in on those. The native events in Discord. I don't know if you're in Discord right now and you look at the top left, you see Live Now, Community Call, Join. There's an events channel where you can subscribe for alerts from different events. We've started playing around with that and we'll be continuing to play with that for the events for next week as well. And then the regular check-in and the sprint board and working group updates. Hey, have you been in TEC for a while? Are you brand new? You can help us right now by going to Twitter and finding your favorite tweet and retweeting it, making sure that the TEC goes far and wide in the Twitter sphere. It could really help right now. Do it during this call. The next introduction to token engineering is hosted by Token Engineering Academy, is December 15th. It's a course that we can't recommend enough. So please do sign up for it if you haven't already taken that course. And in case you miss what's happening in this call or you want to go back, Manu does this excellent job of creating this weekly working group update based on this call. So everything that we talked about in this call is in here and all the links are in here, and you can subscribe and just get this in your email so you can read it whenever you want. I haven't talked about this for a long time, so I want to bring it up again. These TEC visual explainers are really spectacular. Phase 1 is complete. We are in phase 2. We are submitting the Commons upgrade parameters, then we'll be voting. And if you want to take a look at what the TEC will look like after the Commons upgrade is completed, these are the 3 components that we'll be launching. So that's really cool too. And I will pass to Wonka and Gravity.
Thanks, Tam. Well, in Gravity, we are reaching the end of our Graviton training. Next week, we will have gone over 10 hours of training and tools for managing conflict both individually and collectively. So yeah, that's something really great that we are creating value and giving these skills to people. And I hope that next week we can have like a new cohort of gravitons, and also like identify which gravitons correspond to other communities, so that we can empower the development of gravity in other communities with proper gravitons. I feel that's amazing. And our call to action is that today, after this call, we will be going on the chapter 8 of the Nonviolent Communication book from Marshall Rosenberg in the DAO Book Club server. And we will be talking about the power of empathy, how it can help you to understand your own feelings, and also to deal with people who is in stress. Yeah, you can request support to any of the gravitons, either filling the type form or contacting the active gravitons in Discord. And one of the new things is that we launched yesterday a new Gitcoin grant, and it will be starting to receive donations from round 12. But yeah, it's for you to know that we are making our efforts to become sustainable, and also that if you want to contribute to the development of this project, yeah, you are for sure welcome to help us with this grant. And we will be managing the funds through a multisig, and the multisig curators will be defined through a forum post. So I will be making that forum post in this week, and yeah, for you to participate and give your sets of people. So thanks everyone, and I will pass to Common Swarm.
That's me. Lots of great action in the Common Swarm this week. We finally blazed through all the roadblocks that were blocking us from getting the demo out, at least getting the pieces out together. So the audit has been completed. All of the revisions from our audit are done, and we're going to review things with the auditor tomorrow. So that's cool, and it's the best auditor in the world to do this, the former lead engineer behind Aragon. And also the Gardens front end is working to encompass the changes we needed for it to use the WrapDex die in the common pool. So that's great. The two major pieces of our smart contract system are, at least on their individual level, pretty much complete. But we did run into a new blocker with EVM CRISPR that's under construction. EVM CRISPR is the tool that allows us to make very complex proposals to the DAO on the smart contract infrastructure layer. So it's unknown on what is going on there, but that's the big task for this weekend, is to figure that out and get that working again so we can get this demo out. But things are looking good in the Common Swarm. And with that, I will pass it to Livia with SoftGov.
Thanks. I'll share my screen. Or no, I think I can follow you. So yeah, we meet every Tuesday, 1 p.m. EST, right before Gravity Call. And we have some news this week that the reward system is becoming a working group, and we have a Notion page now that Christopher just put up. It looks super organized, and we have some work streams. We have multiple work streams, and we've been like coordinating them separately, and there's so many people involved, and really great work is happening. So it makes sense that it becomes its own working group, that it has its manifesto and its proper time here in this call to give updates. And we're going to be working together with the research group happening in the academy. So a lot of like feedback loop of great information following through, and we'll be able to give better updates from there. And if you can come back to the slide graph. Oh yeah, so we have some forum changes now. Oops, didn't put a link. That basically we changed the proposal setting for not having all of the proposals, like all different categories for proposals, but now we have tags. And I'm still in the process of moving the advice process from here. I'm doing this during this call also, and putting into the advice process category. So now we have different categories. Advice process is one thing and proposals are another thing. So it's easier to figure it out through stuff using the tags. So if you want to see all the proposals that are on conviction voting, for example, you can just write the tag and click in there, and then everything in that category will show up. And we are, oh yeah, the voting for the final params for the Commons upgrade. I just wanted to put us in the timeline of where we are at. So today is November 18th. We are finishing this session of Learn and Propose. So most of the param parties happen during this phase, and we're also having external param parties. And from next week, from tomorrow on, we're going to start the debates and also continue to have parties in other servers. So from tomorrow on, we don't have more parties in this Discord, but we focus on debating the proposals that already exist. And then we have parties in other Discords. So people that come to other parties, they can join us and already catch a debate. So they don't have like such a time spent between learning about something and then getting deeper into it. And also just a reminder that votes on token log cannot be taken back. So this is still a curation phase. So just use a little bit of votes to bring the proposals you like to the top. And after the debates is when you really should be voting. And then just really asking for feedback for the decision-making visuals. I'll put the link in the community hall also. We already received a bunch of feedback from Gideon and Tim and Nate. So keep them coming. It's really important that everybody understands this process. And it's quite complex. I don't know if there's so much that we can simplify, but it's frame 7 that you should be looking for. Oh, I think that's the right one. Yeah. Cool. So we have some phases there of advice process is the first place, and then you have the options of going to conviction voting and to snapshot. And then for TAO voting, that are the technical changes. We don't have an interface yet. So we're using signal vote on snapshot, and then there's token log. So how all of these things come together, I hope it's understandable from these visuals, and for sure we can make it better. So your feedback is super important. And last thing I wanted to share is that we're having an update on the snapshot voting strategy. So we're trying to implement quadratic ranked choice voting. And it's been a back and forth with Snapshot Labs to implement that strategy and use it in the right way. So now it's a bit buggy. So if you are dying to make a proposal on Snapshot, just reach out to me first, just in this moment of implementing new strategies, and we can talk about the best way to do that. And with that, I'll pass to Communitas.
Thank you, Libby. Hello, everyone. Communitas working group. In my case today, yes.
Actually, can we do the Communitas working group last today, because we're writing a demo and it's not 100% ready yet, but it will be at the end of this call.
There you go.
So pass to Sol Sister and Omega.
Correct.
Yes, thank you. I'm not going to share the screen so it goes fast. Yes, so we meet every Wednesday 8 p.m. CT, and last week we had a sense making session. It was one of the first and one of the most interesting, insightful ones. It's for token engineering ethics, and it was explorations on language. We started with common language, but actually it turns out it's really problematic. Like if we are building global systems with various many worldviews and many backgrounds, right? We don't want to create one common language. So a lot of things came up, and it was very exciting, enlightening. But also it showed us that there is a lot of. It's not a one-off. I think that's TE ethics. The best is we can establish a space where basically these discussions and discourse can take place. The session in itself was super interesting. We had someone from Dance Tech, Motion DAO, actually showing how movement describes movement as language. Movement transmits knowledge. We had someone who described the Glass Bead game, a co-creative sense-making game. You should really check it out. The links are in the in our chat. And we also had from Token Engineering Community Andrew, Professor Octopus, who's been very active and very giving when it comes to mathematical side of the params, for example, what the param parties revolve around. It was super insightful to actually come to a point where he said, okay, all of these languages exist, and we kind of want to create space for translation, transcoding, and really meaning making and in a global communities that these token economies are, right? So next week, 24th November, I think it will be again about sorting through all of the insights. Do join and never hesitate to ask questions or bring whatever is in your mind when it comes to token engineering ethics and synthesizing knowledge. And with that, I give it to Sean, Tech Labs, who, by the way, have started the Solidity course, right?
Hey, thanks,
This
Solstice.
is another important language.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you can go to the next slide there, Griff. Super cool stuff, by the way, happening in Omega. That is just so awesome. So I was out sick for 2 weeks, so the labs were kind of on hiatus, but and Metaverde has stepped up, and she's really interested in hosting Solidity sort of boot camp with the Crypto Zombies program. It's a tutorial that takes you through building a game with Solidity. So that's super exciting. That's kicking off tomorrow for the first series in that, and that's going to be November 18th to February 24th. So a couple months there, of course, a break over Christmas time. But really excited. I'm going to be joining in and following along. So anyone who wants to pick up Solidity, this is your chance to check that out. And then we have a few other things happening across the ecosystem that I want to give a shout out to. There's DAO to DAO models workshops happening in Prime DAO Discord every Wednesday, 9 a.m. PST, 6 p.m. European time. Really interesting stuff. We're building out the proposal inverter, which is going to change the game for economics, especially decentralized economics. It's sort of an adapter mechanism that allows many DAOs to fund a single proposal. And then you get all sorts of cool stuff. You can loop these things, so you can have a proposal inverter that's paying out to another proposal inverter that's paying out to, so on and so on. So we're going through a lot of ideation, a lot of sort of Miro boarding and design phase. We had a nice sort of advisory session with Griff last night, who gave us all sorts of concerns. He was throwing shade constantly on all the issues we're going to be facing, but that's the most valuable sort of session you can have with an advisor. So really exciting stuff happening there. Token Spice development workshops happening every Monday in the Token Engineering Academy. This is awesome. Dr. McConaughey, the founder of Ocean Protocol, shows up for usually half an hour, sometimes for a full hour, and gives all sorts of insights and direction on the development, and people pick up issues and share some experiments that they're running. It's a really exciting way to see both the development of a token engineering framework and then also real live use cases that are happening. So hop into the Academy Discord server for that. And then there's some open office hours for token engineering happening in the Longtail Financial Discord server hosted by Dr. Octopus. Those are Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon PST. That would be 9 p.m. European time. And then we have Block Science open office hours with Dr. Zargum Thursdays at 9 a.m. And just reach out. There's a Zoom link for that. So just reach out if you're interested. So that's all the stuff happening with the TEC labs. And I'll pass it over to Chewy with comms.
Thanks, YGG. So we meet every Tuesday in communications. As you know, we've been pretty busy this week with a lot of stuff happening. We are going through Params party season, so we're running different campaigns to promote these. We are also approaching other communities. And yeah, so we've been having a lot of Params parties, and this is what we're focused on for this week. But we've also been getting a lot of new contributors. So remember, if you are a project manager, a graphic designer, a social media manager, or an animator, ping us after orientation. We're gonna have a lot of stuff to do for token engineering in the next month. Since we're putting together a team, the token engineering amplify messengers. So we're going to be having bounties. We're going to be having different units working in communications for token engineering. So far, I'm super happy because it looks like we have 5 teams together to start off with the communications working group after the Commons upgrade. And so far, we have the Token Engineering Academy team, which is going to be supporting their communications, HubSpot, animation and video production, translations, and Twitter planning. So a lot of exciting stuff, definitely in communications. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us if you feel you can contribute. And yeah, thanks everyone, and just a quick shout out to everyone that has been joining communications. So that's it for me. I'll pass it now to Septi in transparency.
Thanks, Trey. Yeah, we meet every 2 weeks on Monday. We didn't have a transparency call this week, but we will have like next one. 5 p.m. CET. We changed the schedule, and it's better for American engagement, and we also are having more engagement, so it's cool. On this week, actually it was Ivy finalizing last week the YouTube and Medium analytics, and before going to holidays, she sent us she got this YouTube and Medium analytics that probably comms can use. And we have like many open issues. Like right now we are supporting SoftGov or Rivi with the decision tracking. But we didn't get it done yet. But yeah, just to call, like if people wants to come and engage with transparency, there is a lot of open issues. There's also like we are working on the proposal on the forum for the conviction voting, and also make the audit more clear. Like Tam raised some concerns on the forum, and we want to make it more clear so everyone understands what we're trying to do there. And with that, I'll pass it to legal.
Thanks, Zep. I'll take legal today. Ivy is going to be the new steward when she gets back from vacation. So how cool is that? She's going to take on all the legal responsibilities for the TEC. And she's there's the draft for the terms and conditions for the ABC is basically ready to go. Missing some parameters. We got to figure that out. But then when those parameters come in, we can add them to the legal doc and we're ready to go. There's also a treasury management document that is worth looking into, especially for the people who are going to run to be on part of the laser tag multisig. So there's some interesting stuff that we definitely want to share with people who are interested in participating in that. There's the legal transparency, the legal working group proposal is going to be very basic. Hey, let's just throw 10K in a multi-sig somewhere, and in case we get on the wrong side of some jurisdiction, we have some money set aside for that. And we meet every other Friday. Check the calendar and see if it's this week or next. But every other Friday at 10, it's 10 o'clock my time in Costa, or 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central. And I'll pass it to Griff for parameters. Oh, hi, thank you. Yeah, we have the Commons config dashboard is done, basically. Actually, we have a major upgrade coming in the works. That's super cool, and it couldn't have been done without all this work, all the forum posts that were written and all the documentation that was put into putting this. Pedro and Vitor deserve a lot of credit because they're the devs that are working, grinding every day to make it pretty. But it was a huge team effort, so major gratitude there. And you definitely want to check it out. Let's see if it got merged. But really soon, there is going to be an upgrade. If it didn't happen already, let's just see. No, it's there. It happened during this call. So you can now simulate a funding request into the bonding curve. So if we throw on some orogeny parameters, this is, of course, Nate's epic innovation and contribution to token engineering. You can actually simulate what would it take to pass a proposal. So let's say that we have let's say that we want $40,000, and the common pool has 600K in it, and there's 1.5 million tokens that are actively voting. Then what happens? How hard is it to pass this proposal? And so, come on, baby. Oh no. Wow, the demo version was working, I swear. Oh, that's so sad. Well, looks like we're gonna have to fix it. That's so funny. Let's try this again. Really quick, 40,000, 600, and 1.5 mil. No. Oh, the add proposal button doesn't work. Oh, how tragic, right? Live demos. But then you can actually see, you can really understand what it takes to pass proposals, and I think this will be especially good for anyone who actually wants to make a proposal into the DAO. They can start to play with their ideas of, well, what would it take to pass a proposal after maybe some other proposals have gone through and some money left the common pool. You can start doing your own little simulations on these things, and I think it's going to be very valuable for the debates. Also, if you want to, simulating these parameters creating these parameter sets is pretty hard, but we do have this curation mechanism, as Livia was talking about, in token log. So you can go to token log right here, this link right here, and actually see what other proposals people are looking at. Don't be shy to add one vote behind the proposals that you like. Just one, though. Don't vote too much. As Olivia said, we can't get the votes back, and I doubt these proposals are going to be the ones that actually go into the runoff, but forks of them will. So if you want to support the better curation, you can go in and just put like one vote behind the ones that you like. If you got a lot of TEC to blow, you could throw 4 or 9, but that's the thing, it's quadratic voting. So one vote gives you one knock. But then to get 2 knocks on a proposal, it costs 4, and then to get 3, it costs 9. It gets crazy pretty quick. So better to use one vote. And we have so many Param parties. If you need a link to the calendar, it's in the slides. But also now we have this rolling banner here that you can click, and it'll add all the Param parties to your calendar as they arise. There aren't very many scheduled for next week because it's debates. So the debates will work like so. There's going to be 5 proposals that are presented, assuming there's at least 5 proposals that people want to debate. And each proposal will get 5 minutes to pitch and 5 minutes to be challenged on that pitch. Now, of course, the hosts can do whatever they want, but this is at least my proposed structure to the debates. But this is where things get really interesting, where we can actually start iterating and saying, yeah, that's a great proposal, but the vesting is too short, or the reserve ratio is too high, and we can start really challenging and bettering our ideas. Now, this system is going to last just really 1 week. By Thursday next week, the propose and debate period is over, and we're going to start voting for real. It's debate and rock the vote time over the weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So this is the time. If you want to make some parameter sets, if you want to decide how to, use this $1.5 million that we have in a DAO, you want to design an economy. This is the time to get in there and start really hacking on some parameters. And if you really want to come to some debates to get feedback on your parameter sets. I'll be hosting the first debate on Friday. I can't remember the time, but you can definitely check the time on the Param Party calendar. Also, there's a Param Party right after this. Lauren's hosting it, one of the best Param Party hosts we got, so you don't want to miss it. And with that, I'll pass it to Communitas.
So we'll keep it short and sweet because today is not me who's gonna talk. Basically, orientation call. We have weekly things and we have TEC Lounge. All the description is on there, so take a look if you want and join if you want to know more about us. And with that, I will pass it on to MS because he's the one taking the lead today.
Thanks, Edu. So I'm actually, Griff, is it cool if I just share screen quick? Cool. So I'm really gonna go through this pretty quick and then pass it over to Vi because that's what everybody really wants to see, right? So what I want to start out with is just, it's really cool. I imagine all of us like take a seed, right? And we plant this seed and it's like, oh, I'm going to water it a little bit and somebody else comes along and waters it. And if I walk away for a while and you walk away for a while, somebody else comes along. So
hey, MS, could you zoom in a little bit? It's a beautiful table, but you can't quite read it.
Cool. Yeah, it's actually, this is just to give context. So what had happened is I stumbled into a Communitas call and we were talking about the onboarding flow and the onboarding journey. So I just kind of captured my perspective of a flow for it. And then it started a whole conversation with really meaningful conversations back and forth between like Gideon and LB and Tam, Eduardo, Olivia, Vi. There's so many people that came in here and actually started to take what was that initial diagram and go through several iterations to a point where LB actually created some really, really exciting, really, really robust documentation about perspective, what new people coming into the TEC are like, what's their experience, what are the key points there. I know, Durgus, we actually had a lot of conversations around this too. Like it's come up in some of the conversations that we've had, and it's just cool to see that evolution. And ultimately, I wanted to give that shout out, show some of the artifacts that had come out of it that really coordinated everybody's efforts. And then ultimately what we're at now is what Vi is going to show. So yeah, I just wanted to give that quick background on it and just give the shout outs because it really is, like I imagine that analogy of a seed, right? Eduardo, is that good? I can pass it over to Vi now.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Are you good?
I'd just like to praise everyone involved in the Communitas working group because we've come so far with the onboarding journey. Can you all see my screen? Is this visible and readable?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
So, all right, someone just popped you this link to the TEC server. You don't know what the TEC is, and you joined the TEC. All right, you see the screen, and it says "Welcome to the TEC server," and you can't talk until you complete a few steps. All right, I'll wait and see what that is. Read and agree to the server, and this is some information about the token engineering commons, and these are our rules. Welcome, the stuff. This one's important. Meeting protocol terms and disclaimers. All of this stuff is important, and essentially, this is like an agreement that says that if you're joining the server, you agree to be recorded on calls if you're on calls. Once you do that, you're just in this one channel that says click here to verify. Failure to verify in 5 minutes will result in. All right. I clicked. Alright, why is this not working? Just give me a second.
It's live demos today.
The demo gods are angry.
It's really cool though to see the back end of this process because I never get to see it.
Alright.
What I love about
now-
the oh, you're good. Cool.
So please complete this form to gain access to the server. Are you a bot? People? No, I'm not a bot. Alright, I am not a bot. Okay. Did it let me in? Yeah, it let me in. And for more information, check out about the TEC. Check out the Start Here channel. Okay, I'll click on this button and see. Oh, what is this? I can click on buttons. Right. What is TC? It's an open source collectively governed project. It aims to create token economy that will accelerate the responsible and ethical creation of public goods within the TC community. That sounds interesting. I can deep dive. I can look at the handbook and what is token engineering. That's a brief bit of information that can help people. What is comms? That's also some brief information that can help people. There's links that give them more context and the mission, vision, values. So this is essentially like a way to bring the guidebook that we've created or the guidebook that we've created for the TEC right in the server. So like the moment someone enters the server, they can get all the information that they might be looking for in a brief manner and like great access to links. And essentially something that is still in the works and hasn't happened now is a bot that will DM you a newer version of our onboarding survey, and like the new survey would contain more questions and would be a lot more curated so that we can get more insight into people that are being onboarded, and all this data goes to like a spreadsheet or a Notion sheet, and we'll have some great like comparative data about like people that are getting onboarded, which can like lead to community research as well as like onboarding journeys. Like we can really, like for example, a few days ago the comms group was looking for people that are inclined creatively, who would be like looking into graphic design and video editing, things like such. That way like the Communitas working group can redirect people to these such work streams. So this is the updated survey that we'll be looking for. And yeah, although this is really exciting and I'm really liking the direction in which we're going. One thing about this survey is this guide is that it's essentially a nested guide. You can have as much information here as you want. Like super modular. Like there's a button here. We can have more buttons in the same like message. So this can go on forever, and this is unique to the person. So if I do this message over here, someone else would not be able to see this message unless they click that. So that's kind of neat. And I just like to conclude there.
That is so cool, Vi. That is well done. Very well done. And way to hack the demo in the demo call. Like, wow, rock star.
That's great. Quick question. Sorry to interrupt. Where is this accessible to learn further? This is really, really interesting.
We will get it to launch next week. We are using a TEC clone server to test it out. I can send you a brief invite to the server if you send me a DM, and you can have access to it. It's just for testing, so you will see a lot of bugs, a lot of empty channels, but it's we are using to then put it back to our own Discord now. We're on the top of the hour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Andy.
No,
right.
I just
Thank you all for coming. This was an incredible call, as always. Wow, we used it the whole time. Fill out the survey. Please tell us how we can make these calls better. I'm going to fill it out. You can end on time. Also, there are 2 events happening right now. There's the MVC Book Club. It's super cool. DAO DAO Book Club server, and then right in the Param party that Lauren is leading in parameters right now. If you want, this is one of the last Param parties in the server. If you haven't gotten deep involved in Params yet, you want to go to this one. She's one of the best we got. So thank you all, and I'll see you next week.